I really, really, really despise Big Pharma, and especially their propensity to continue to try to keep them in your pocket by making you a lifelong customer. One thing that they like to overprescribe, they're doctors, they're little pill pushers, they're peddlers out there. They love to push a good old sleeping drug. Oh my lord, they love to push a good sleeping aid. Some of those are incredibly dangerous, okay? And there's been quite a few celebrity that has overdosed on their fair share of sleeping pills. So I don't want to see anybody to get, hooked up or dependent on sleeping aids, because they'll fry out your brain and making, sleep the regular means an impossibility for people out there. So how about instead of just trying to put a bandage over the gunshot wound, we try to address, the underlying problem out there, ending the vicious cycle of insomnia without prescription sleeping pills. Exactly. If you have a tough time falling asleep, I don't know, maybe try exercising throughout the day, maybe try eating a proper diet so that you aren't stimulated when you go to bed, or you have rampant indigestion that keeps you awake at night, tossing and turning in order to overcome an upset stomach. You could try some of those stuff. But then, all of that stuff, if people could just take a pill in order to make their problems disappear, instead of, just actually addressing the problem head on and taking responsibility for some of their actions, and most people are just going to take the pill and just move on with their life because they're busy. They got stuff to do. They got kids to take to soccer practice and whatever other dumb stuff they're talking about. But the world of the state of worldly affairs is enough to keep anyone awake. Not really. I talk about this stuff all the time, and I sleep like a baby. Anyways, when our sleep is regularly disrupted, it sets off a vicious cycle of fatigue and anxiety. Luckily, there are ways out of this loop besides sleeping pills. And you likely don't even need a mythic 8 hours of sleep per night. Yeah, no, exactly, because your circadian rhythms normally run in like 90-minute intervals. So in about 9 hours, people start to self-report that, they have a terrible sleep. And it's normally that magic 6 to 7 hours that are out there. Spoilers, but we've talked about this stuff before. There are some rarely discussed factors surrounding sleep that we can use to get rest we need without having to alter our brain chemistry with drugs. Yeah, no, exactly. So, common sleep detriments, or deterrents? Deterrents. There we go, words. It is important to remember that lying in bed worrying won't help. Yeah, exactly. I can't go to sleep. What time do I gotta wake up in the morning? Oh my god, I only got 2 hours to sleep. Oh my god, I gotta stay up. I gotta think about this. What am I gonna do tomorrow? What am I gonna do on the weekend? Oh my god, I only got 2.5 hours left to sleep. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? If you don't feel sleepy, why not sit? Why not sit in a meditation or to use a CBT? I don't know what that is, to reframe the anxious thoughts that you are experiencing. Is that like some kind of drugs or something? I'm such a square when it comes to all this stuff. Like, I got my supplements, but you can mistake me for a Mormon pretty easily. Removing caffeine and alcohol before bed is also important. Yeah, like having a good diet and exercise. Wow, imagine that. I should be writing articles like this. Caffeine's effects can last for up to 4 to 5 hours. Yeah, depending on your tolerance, of course. Alcohol may help you get to sleep, but it also has a tendency to wake people up mid-sleep when their blood alcohol level falls. Yeah, no, exactly. If you need to drink to fall to bed, you probably need to go to AA before you drink to fall to bed. I'm just saying. People who drink early may experience difficulty initially falling asleep. Limiting alcohol intake and not drinking every night is key to making sure you're getting restful sleep regularly. Combining alcohol with sleeping pills can be very dangerous. Yeah, that's what happens, and then you die. So don't do that. Other common sleeping deterrents are eating sugary and processed foods before bed. Wow, it's almost like I went over this in the intro. Anyway, so cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. All right. Few things can keep us up at night as easily as errant thinking. Negative thoughts can have a wide-ranging effects on our health and well-being, to the extent that we believe that they can identify with the thoughts that can be surprisingly destructive. CBTI, that's gotta be weed. I'm thinking about it because I know I've seen that CBT before, but anyways. Helps a person to question harmful thoughts and replace them with something constructive. Yeah, okay, cool. Is this like a paid ad by CBT? But anyways, the study, Management of Insomnia Disorder, published for the Agency of Healthcare Research and Quality. Researchers wrote cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. Oh, no, that's cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. That's CBTI. the more you know. Improved global outcomes and nearly all sleep parameters with the general adult population, older adults, and adults with pain. The researchers did not find any evidence of adverse effects. Wow, imagine that. Therapy helps with sleep. Imagine that. Probably written by a psychologist. Bright light therapy. Yeah, go outside in the morning. Reset your brain. That'll help. Whether you think yourself a morning person or a night owl, you may have a circadian rhythm timing disorder. Yes, in which your body clock is moving either too fast or too slow. Advanced sleep phase is a term given to people whose body clock is running too fast. Common in the elderly. Advanced sleeping phase involves getting up and going to bed earlier than is socially normal, and it may be caused by a deterioration of vision and less light intake because of cataracts, smaller pupils, glaucoma, and other causes of macular degeneration. Make some noise. Advanced sleep phase can be problematic, and the person finds that they are that they fall asleep unintentionally or can't get enough sleep because of waking too early. Bright light therapy, using an LED light box or other bright lamp, can stimulate people in the evening and help them keep a more normal circadian rhythm. That's why my two lights, why I'm so bright and maybe a little bit washed out. Eventually, I start making, some money off of some of these stupid channels, but I'll get better lighting. But these are bright light boxes or whatever, your happy lights, your vitamin D producing, sunlight replicating lights. That's what I've got on both sides of me. So I would recommend them, okay, for whatever your lighting needs are, and I'm sure you can get some light bulbs for that, but whatever, those are probably costly. People whose body clock is moving too slow have a delayed sleep phase in which they receive waking sleep signals too late. Insomnia related to delayed sleep phase involves a person not being able to get to sleep until very late at night. This may involve spending hours in bed trying to get to sleep and then struggling to wake up at a desired time. Yeah, like when you used to go to school back in those days, back in a long old time ago. Okay, when you'd have a nice long fun weekend. You'd be staying up late. You'd be waking up. Maybe early, maybe just sleeping in a little bit depending on when you're at or something, but you just throw off your sleep schedule, and then you have to go back to school Monday morning. Or it was even the worst, even though we're right here at the beginning of summer vacation. I know, right? Don't even need to think about the beginning of the new school year, but that first night back, okay, you go to sleep at your regular time, whenever it was, 9, 10, maybe 11 o'clock at night. You go to bed and you just lie and you sleep. And because throughout the rest of the summer, everything's been all goofy, you've been staying up late. You might be staying up until the wee hours of the morning, or you've been doing all kinds of extra stuff. You could try to avoid that by waking up and going to bed at relatively the same times every day. Especially waking up in the morning. Going to bed at night, a little bit different. But you want to get a proper jump on the day, wake up every day. Every single day. Don't take weekends off at the same time, okay? Delayed sleep phase is commonly associated with oversleeping and depression. Yes, abnormal drowsiness and fatigue in the morning can result in a person being overly dependent on stimulants. Aha, exactly. Or being more susceptible to accidents when they get rushed to get somewhere. Associated with rebellious behavior, delayed sleep phase is more commonly accepted by young adults. Aha, although it does not affect older adults. Though it does affect older adults and some elderly people. Yeah, imagine that emotionally damaged people who lash out irrationally. I haven't had enough sleep. Oh, I haven't had my coffee this morning. Those are the type of people we're dealing with. I'm just a night person. No, you're just lazy. People experiencing the timing disorder can also use bright light therapy and get more light in the early morning. Yeah, go outside and exercise. How about that? According to Kripke, whoever that is, delayed sleep phase can be a stubborn condition that can require a person to expose themselves to a very bright light for 1 or 2 hours each morning. Yeah, go for a run or something like that. Stop being lazy and stupid. Mindfulness meditation. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like, quieting all of your tangential thoughts. Imagine that. That's amazing. When you're getting really stressed or worried about something, it can be very difficult to sleep. Getting out of bed and sit in meditation can help resolve troubled thoughts and feelings. Meditation is powerful. Has the power to put one in touch with a deeper aspect of oneself. Very thoughtful, very enlightened. In the place of peace, our worldly concerns can lighten the sense of calm and can soothe the nervous system. Meditation in and of itself can be deeply restful. Yeah, we've talked about that when we've also discussed different breathing techniques on the channel. Big fan of meditation. Not a big fan of, talking about it or proselytizing about it, okay? What's that old saying from the good book, okay? Only heathens pray in public. I recommend meditation, okay? Other videos on this channel, we go into more detail there. So yes, calming your mind can get you to sleep faster. Who would have thought about that? Do we really need 8 hours? This is what I want to talk about, okay? It is surprising to learn that many people who sleep less on average, about 6.5 hours a night, may actually live longer and be less depressed than people who sleep 8 or more hours. This is one from, several months ago at that point, okay? That's when this all really came to the forefront. We broke down a specific study, okay? Most people responded positively by sleeping like 6, 7, and then there was a steep drop off after that, like 5, 6, or 7 hours, okay? Because you mostly go through a couple of circadian rhythms throughout the night, and they come in waves, and they're very predictable. And if you just break one up halfway through, then you're going to wake up groggy. It's like you can just do everything perfectly throughout the week, and you might have a great sleep Monday night, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday, for whatever reason, nothing really changes. Nothing's exceptionally stressful in your life. You just have a god-awful sleep. You don't know why. It's just because your circadian rhythm, you might have been waking up a couple of different times in the night, okay? Unbeknownst to you, but it throws off your rhythm, okay? It stops it, it pauses it, it pushes it off, okay? You normally wake up at 7 o'clock. You go to bed at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. You go to bed then, and then you wake up at that 7 o'clock. But hey, if anything throws that off, you wake up during your rapid eye movement sleep, and then everything is just busted for you. The folk belief that we should sleep 8 hours seems to be incorrect. Numerous studies have shown that self-reported sleep longer than 7.5 or shorter than 6.5 hours predict increased mortality risk. Kripke and other researchers reported in a study people who sleep 5 to 6 hours may be reassured. Yeah, no, exactly. Short sleepers might actually live longer in cases where people who sleep 8 or more hours per night. Surprisingly, people who say they have insomnia are also less likely to be depressed, because depression is generally correlated with oversleeping. Oversleeping, big bad. Spend less time in bed. Excessive worries about the fallacies surrounding sleep can cause people to force themselves to get to bed even when they aren't sleeping. Yeah, no, exactly. That's why you should have a regimented time to wake up in the morning, but it's a little more flexible in the evening until you can start to develop a habit, okay? So yeah, if you lament going to bed at a certain time, that's fine. Just don't betray your alarm clock in the morning, okay? Simple as. Moreover, if you awaken at night and you no longer feel sleepy, get out of bed and don't go back into bed until you're sleepy again and expect to fall asleep. Even after being up during the night, you should be able to get out of bed by your regular awakening time, because sleeping late tends to make the problem worse. Yeah, no, exactly. Whenever I've slacked off of my sleep schedule a couple of different times throughout the past couple of years, and I know that it's time to really straighten up and fly right, because I start to feel really wonky, and that's not even from any outside sources, okay? That's just me feeling off, and then knowing if I start to get regimented once again, things are going to work out. So far, touch wood, that seems to be the case. So that's just me adding in my anecdotal proof. And I don't use any sleeping aids or something. I just go hard throughout the day, and then I just crash at the end of the day, okay? And then we just do it all again the next day. So sleeping pill dangers. Do we really need to go through this? But anyways, writing about the study, he concluded that with other researchers from Scripps Clinic of Viterbi Family Sleep Center, he said, this is Dr. Kripke, from electronic and medical records, we studied over 10,000 patients who took sleeping pills and over 20,000 matched patients who did not take sleeping pills. The patients who took sleeping pills died 4.6 times, as often during follow-ups, averaging 2.5 years. Okay, so patients who took even higher doses, averaging over 132 pills per year, died 5.3 times as often. Jesus. Even those patients who took fewer than 18 pills per year had 3.6 times the death of patients who took no hypnotics. Oh, I don't even know what to say to that. That's just staggering. And yet, you just go to a doctor. I have a tough time sleeping. Well, what would you like? Would you like to test some of my wares? According to the work, the following sleep pills are associated with significant mortality risk. You can... I'm going to butcher all of these names because I can't pronounce any of them. Zolpidem, temazepam. I've heard of that one. Okay. Oh, Lunesta, Sonata. Not like Moonlight Sonata. That's cool. Sonata, that's just terrible. Halcyon. That used to be a party drug back in the cut. Dalmine, Dalmerodum, whatever. Prosom, Doral, barbiturates, obviously. Antihistamines, mainly. Diphenhydramine. All right. Cool. Oh, and they can cause cancer. Great. Other serious risks. Suicide is strongly associated. Yeah, because it causes more depression, or people are at least self-reporting depression. That makes sense. Dark side of sleeping pills, linked to that, obviously. Complex sleep behaviors. I'm just getting tired of this article anyways. Funny, right? But getting off of sleeping pills, it's easy. Just don't start. It's just exercise, eat properly. Just, you know what, hey, have a regimented sleep schedule and stick to it. How about that? So on top of the significant risk of these medications, it appears that they provide very little benefit. Okay. Recommended doses objectively increase sleep a little, if at all. Daytime performance is often made worse, not better, by lack of general health benefits, is commonly misrepresenting in advertising. Yeah, no, exactly. Advertising lies to you or misrepresents what it can actually do. Oh my God, tell me something else I didn't already know. Nevertheless, it is important to consult your prescribing doctor before discontinuing a prescribed sleeping medication, especially when considering withdrawing from larger doses. Yes, of course, if it already has its hooks in you, you gotta taper off. Yeah. But again, doctors, therapists, you know, they aren't really incentivized to really back you off. Big Pharma's titty, but I don't know, man. There doesn't seem to be anything more destructive or anything more restrictive than constantly needing to pop pills, especially for something as essential as sleeping. It just doesn't seem like a wheel I'd want to hop on, or I'd want for anybody else out there. So yeah, no. Somebody ever recommends to you just sleeping pills for a little while? Yeah, no. If you think that you're comfortable for just the moment, that's fine. Just, yeah, of course, consult with your doctor, but I don't know, man. Take an informed approach when you go there. That would be my advice. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Let's follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.